Welcome to Unstuck TV. I'm John Polish with my co-host Cheryl Green.
Hello.
And this is the show where we bring people on to share their stories of overcoming some great obstacles and share the strategies they use to get unstuck. And today's guest, we have with us Heather Estes. Welcome, Heather.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Thanks for coming. And so before we start talking, I want to. John had an experience this weekend. He was stuck himself. Yes.
Stuck.
Yeah.
I was stuck, I guess you could say. I was stuck in the hospital for 4 days.
Without even planning, an accident, what?
Oh, you know, the best that I can figure is I must have gotten bit by a spider or something. And it turned into an infection, and that infection was not being cured by antibiotics, so I ended up in the hospital for 4 days. Oh. And I don't know what's worse, being in the hospital and being sick, or being in the hospital when you feel great.
I think what's worse is being in the hospital for a spider bite and coming out and not having superpowers.
Yeah.
What makes you think I don't?
Well, I have not seen you shoot webs out of your wrist once, and we've been together for about an hour and a half, so...
Right. Maybe they have to develop over time.
Give it time.
Right, maybe it has to develop over time.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, this would be great if you could, like, we could open the next Unstuck conference with you, like, scaling the walls.
You might be my kryptonite. That could be a problem, right?
Oh.
Wrong superhero.
Wow. Well, you never know. It could be all different types of...
I think I'm a lot of people's kryptonite, but that's okay.
It's a whole other show. We can get to that later.
Exactly. On that note, hey, Heather, how are you?
Good. I'm good for a Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
So Heather spoke at the last Unstuck that we had.
Yeah.
She did an awesome job. So we have her back here on the show to tell her story again. First of all, tell us about your experience with the conference.
I didn't know what to expect coming into it, and it was definitely a pleasant surprise. I think I was very overwhelmed because it was my first conference, speaking at my first conference, and so I didn't know what to expect, how many people were going to be there, and so the nervousness and all of that started to build up. But once I got there and I knew that I was amongst family and friends, and it was a great audience, and actually I think even though I thought there were going to be a lot more people there, I was very pleasantly surprised that there were, let's just say, just enough people there, and just to see how it grew, just in the hours that we were there. So we had to keep on bringing in chairs, and so it was a great experience for our first time, speaking at a conference. Like I said, it was very professional. I felt amongst friends, and I liked the interaction with the audience. So it was a great experience. So I look forward to doing it again next year.
Awesome. Yeah, we had just over 100 at that one, and Heather is actually a big part of our plans for our upcoming August event,
which is super exciting.
Yes,
this is going to be really
cool. Take it to a new level.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us about that. What are we taking it to exactly?
Well, we are taking
John scales the wall.
Right. Well,
I might have to at this event. Let me tell you.
Well, based on the experience that I had at the first conference, I thought that bringing it to a venue that would be attractive, and just add that next level for the Unstuck conferences. So I suggested the Smith Center, where I work professionally as a fundraiser, but they have some great venues, and I think the venues that we're talking about is Troche Theater, which is, just recently there were some great productions there. The sound, the parking, the accessibility of it, just the name itself, the Smith Center, will all bring great attention to the Unstuck conference and its speakers, and I think we'll be able to attract not only a great audience, but some amazing speakers too to participate. So I'm excited about you guys coming there in August and being a part of that too.
I'm excited to get to say that I'm performing at the Smith Center.
Right?
Exactly,
yeah.
Right?
That's the nostalgia behind it. Yeah.
Just going to leave it at that.
So for those of you who don't know what the Smith Center is, it is, how would you describe it? It is the new...
It is a world-class performing arts center. We are ranked, we're only 5 years old. 3 years old, the building has been standing, and we are ranked number 8 in the world. So we're pretty high up there when it comes to performing arts centers, and very proud of it. It was built for Las Vegas locals. It's not necessarily a tourist attraction, but we do get tourists there. It houses our Broadway season, so we are the only venue in Nevada that has a Broadway season. So this year, everybody's excited because Hamilton will be here next summer. Yeah.
Very cool.
Every show I've seen there has been just absolutely amazing. So you guys just put on amazing productions.
And I really appreciate the season tickets we'll be getting for hosting Unstuck.
Oh,
yes, that'll be great.
Slip that in the contract somewhere.
Yeah, right? So
Well, it's good to know somebody, that's for sure.
absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your story. Like, how did you get involved? How did we find you?
That's a good question. I'm not sure exactly how we found you, but I could probably talk.
Toastmasters.
Oh yes, Toastmasters.
Just
we got to
saying.
plug. That's right. Toastmasters. Well, I was involved in Toastmasters now probably for 5 or 6 years in different clubs, speaking on various different topics. But mostly you find when you start to talk about things, it's the things that mean the most to you, that are easiest to speak to and that are sincere and authentic.
Yeah.
And those are the best speeches. And so I started talking more about my life story in Toastmasters and had some challenges and obstacles to overcome. And so through Toastmasters, I started to present those obstacles and challenges, and easily enough people were relatable to it and have been through similar circumstances. And so when you have a topic or a subject that people can relate to, they just are attracted to that. And so I found that the subject of worthiness was my topic, but I could see how it touched other people's lives in all different areas. And so that kind of became a mission, I guess you could say, for me to talk about what worthiness was and how it affected my life, and how I could learn about it and help other people through the challenge of feeling worthy.
And worthiness is something that we can all relate to on some level.
It seems like it's, I don't know if it's the law of attraction or it just seems to be timely, but it seems like everything I listen to or every podcast I hear or interview, there is something to do with worthiness. And it's more about people saying that they are not good enough, or they don't feel worthy, or they struggle with this worthiness aspect in some part of their life, whether it's personal, whether it's professional. So I don't know, the law of attraction, or like I said, if it's just a timely subject to talk about.
I think a lot of people are getting more interested in that personal development aspect, and they want to feel better about themselves. Like, we've all been through challenges, and we're finally coming to a place where we're like, you know what, let's acknowledge what we've been through and take the steps necessary to get through it and to then help somebody else.
Yeah, I think that we live in America, not necessarily, I don't have to say world, but I can only speak to what I know. We live in an America where we have access to so much, technology, but only in our professions, and there's such high expectations of what each of us should do and be that we get stuck, in feeling worthy of accomplishing all of the things that people and loved ones and family and friends, we think that they expect of us. And so we create that, and I think that's where the challenge fits in, is that it's just today's society in a fast-paced world. People expect a lot of things in a short amount of time, and a lot of times you're the one that's expected to deliver. So feeling worthy becomes a challenge.
Right. And a lot of my speech is about expectations, because that is what holds us back the most. And that you're in the right place doing the right thing when things just totally line up. So, and that's how I know that what we're doing with Unstuck is a great thing.
Yeah.
I'm laying in a hospital bed this weekend, and next thing you know, I find hospital staff coming to me telling me about their stuck issues and their grief and things that they're going through. And so I had a nurse spend an hour and a half in my room just talking about how she's been stuck recently.
Yeah.
And I think, wow, everybody has something. And what's great about bringing a lot of people together like we do at Unstuck is that there are stories that will resonate with everyone.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, your story might work for somebody, somebody else might resonate better with Heather's. And so it's awesome to have that mix of people, especially when you talk about worthiness, because that's something that all of us at some level have. But we want to find out in just a minute. We're going to take a break. When we come back from the break, though, I want to hear more about your story, like how the worthiness factor came to be, right?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
And what do you got, Cheryl? 45 seconds.
You want
You're
more
on.
Spider-Man jokes?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. You have with great power comes great responsibility.
Yes.
So you had that power. I'm just pulling this out of my butt right now. To
Got that visual.
in 29 seconds.
It's time to break that.
No, but you know what? I think you were in the right place at the right time, and somebody needed to hear your message, and somebody needed to be heard.
Absolutely. And I think it happens to all of us, and it happens the more we share, the more opportunities we have to help other people. So
Right. Through
that's
storytelling,
what this
we
is all
learn.
about.
Absolutely.
So we are down to 8 seconds. We're going to take a
We
break.
can do
When we
it
come
now.
back, we're going to hear Heather's Stuck story and what she did to get unstuck.
Great.
That's good. We'll be